Hello folks, Scott with Dallas Paint Correction and Auto Detailing. This will be a controversial video. This will not be accepted by the mainstream car enthusiasts or even some professional detailers, but those professional detailers that have been detailing cars as long as I have know what I'm about to say is absolutely true, it's factual, and it cannot be disputed. Here we go. Most of you are going to use, I just got Black Magic, it's Wet Shine Car Wash. I don't know why, my neighbor had it, so I borrowed it. It happens to be pH neutral. That is a very popular soap with all the rest of the soaps on the market. They're all pH neutral. The soap next to it is Purple Power, which has a pH rating of 10. It is not pH neutral. When you wash your car, why do you wash your car with a pH neutral soap? I'll tell you why most of you do it is because you've spent so much time putting a wax and sealant on the car and you do not want to strip it. You want to try to hold on to the integrity, so you're using a pH neutral soap. Some of you might say the other side of the coin is I don't like using a soap that's got a high pH rating of 10 because it's going to ruin the plastic or rubber around my car. That is not true. What ruins the plastic and rubber around your car faster than a non-pH neutral soap is the sun. You're going to have to protect your plastics regardless anyway, whether you're using a pH soap of 0 or 7 or a pH soap of 10. Folks, what I'm going to show you is something that I've been doing for years. I got out of the rabbit hole of believing pH neutral soaps were my friend. pH neutral soaps, my friends, actually can potentially harm the paint. Not the soap itself, but because a pH neutral soap does not wash the panel, it does not thoroughly clean the panel, it can only go after loose grease and grime. That's all it can do. It's basically lubricated water. It also takes advantage of the fact that the universe has put a somewhat gave us a solvent called water. They're trying to ramp up the ability of the water to be able to clean your car, but it won't do it. Why do I know pH neutral soaps do not actually clean the car? Because I've seen customers who use pH neutral soaps on their cars all at the sake of protecting the wax and sealant for years. Then they'll call me out to detail their car. I will most likely clay their vehicle. I will wash their car and then I'll go to clay. And you know what I'll find all over the car? Not only will I find ferrous metal that's stuck to the paint, I will find years and years of grease and grime that you thought you got off the car because you used a pH neutral soap. Folks, there is stuff that is not transparent. You cannot see with the eye. Motor oil, brake fluid, transmission fluid, certain chemicals, industrial chemicals that fall on the street. When you drive in the rain, it splashes on your car. Because a pH neutral soap cannot remove them, they're not technically a bonded contaminant, but if you keep using a pH neutral soap at the sake of protecting the wax and sealant, those contaminants will begin to bond, and the only way to get them off is to take a clay bar, and the clay bar will be brown. It'll be gross, grungy, slimy looking, plus pulling off contaminants. So I know pH neutral soaps do not clean the paint. So let's say I had a wax and sealant on it. This is Mr. and Mrs. Jones' car. I take care of it once a month. I don't give a crap there's a wax and sealant on it. I'm still going to use a soap that's got a pH rating of 10. Watch. Folks, I will take this Purple Power and I will wipe this panel down, right? Oh my God, Scott, you're degrading the wax or sealant that you just put a week ago or a month ago on for Mr. and Mrs. Jones. How is this effective? Well, I'll tell you why it's effective. Let me rinse that off now that I've degraded the wax. I will, of course, wash the whole vehicle that way, regardless of the wax or sealant that's on it. I will then dry the vehicle, and then what I will grab is Meguiar's Ultimate Fast Finish. This is a true paint sealant. It does not fill the panel. It has no chemical abrasives in it or any type of cleaners. Folks, this cost me $12 a can. I can do this car in front of me 12 times with one can. If I chose to do this once a month, that's $1. If I chose to do this twice a month, that's $2. If I chose to do it every week, meaning I cleaned my car with a non-pH neutral soap and then just put this on there, it would cost me $4 a month. The Purple Power soap, to give me the pH rating of 10, I got about 3 or 4 ounces in that container. That's roughly 612, about 24 cents. It could cost me $1.24 every week if I want to. Why do I do this? I truly clean the panel where pH neutral soaps can. I don't care it degraded the last time I put this on there because this is so quick and fast. I can wax this whole car in about 10 minutes, maybe quicker if I want to move fast. All I have to do is spray a microfiber towel and lightly massage it on the paint, and then flip over to a dry side and just make sure I don't have any high spots from this wax, and I'm done. What I have done for Mr. and Mrs. Jones, when they look at me, Scott, did you truly clean my car? Absolutely. Scott, how much protection do I have on my car? You have 100% protection every time I come to your home every month. I am not going to allow you to go into that rabbit hole and try to figure out if 2 or 3 months we still have enough wax and sealant on the car to protect it. I don't care. I'm going to eliminate it from the process. A pH neutral soap, because it can't remove all those contaminants off the paint, and if you've done that for a long period of time and then you go to clay, you'll find all the stuff you couldn't get off the car with a pH neutral soap. Folks, those are harmful chemicals that are laying on the clear coat, even though you can't see them with your eye. They are potentially dangerous to the clear coat. That's why pH neutral soaps, not the soap itself, but the fact that it cannot truly clean the paint, could potentially be dangerous for the clear coat. You're putting a wax and sealant on it because you give so much of a crap about the clear coat. Folks, people are going to make an argument that I like a paste wax because it fills the panel, and that is absolutely true. You can use this paste wax, a liquid wax, Benzerna, whatever, it'll fill the panel. It'll look flatter. You want to know why? Because that's what it does. But that is the shortest lived benefit of any paste wax or liquid sealant, whatever you want to call it. That usually leaves the experience first. Give it a couple of weeks, maybe a week or two, that will leave the experience. Yes, you'll still have some protection on the paint, but it's not truly filling the panel for a long period of time. It'll be hydrophobic. This stuff you can't layer multiple times. It will start to make the paint look cloudy and hazy. This stuff you can put on the paint over and over and over again. It won't matter. It won't leave the paint cloudy or hazy. Most of you are putting a paste sealant on the car. Now you're using a pH neutral soap to protect it, which doesn't clean the panel. Then you're going to take maybe your favorite spray wax or CarPro Reload or Geon Wet Coat, and you're spending more money now to try to protect the integrity of that wax or sealant and rubbing it into the paint. So you're actually washing the car and always using something like this if you're a car enthusiast trying to top off the wax and sealant to protect it. Why not just wash your car so you know you truly cleaned it off with a non-pH neutral soap, and then apply Meguiar's Ultimate Fast Finish so quickly around the car. I can go around the car 3 times with this, while the guy who's trying to put a paste wax or a liquid sealant on the car once. It is so fast, so effective. It just makes so much sense in the world. I am telling Mrs. Jones and Mr. Jones their car is truly cleaner than anybody else's on the block. Their car has always got protection on it, almost within 100%. And their cars will have to be clayed less often, because if you're using a pH neutral soap over and over again to protect the sealant, you are going to start to get some of those contaminants that didn't necessarily need to bond to the paint, but because you used the pH neutral soap, they actually started to bond to the paint. Now you got to remove them with a clay bar. You'll find yourself having to clay more often. So Mrs. and Mrs. Jones say, Scott, you always clean my car effectively. You always make sure there's maximum protection on it. You always make sure that we don't have to clay as much as maybe others have to, which guess what? If I clay the vehicle, I'm scratching the paint. That's just a fact as well. Folks, if you want to get out of the rabbit hole, stop paying $40 a gallon for a pH neutral soap that is not cleaning the paint. You're worried about the integrity of the sealant. We've got products today that can make it so easy for you. You can do this once a week if you want. Cost you $4 a month. You can do it every other week. I've seen people do maintenance details on their car, and they'll pull out a cart with 40 different products just to do a maintenance detail on their car to protect the paint. Get out of that wheel, get off that treadmill, and just make it easy for yourself. You need Purple Power, pH of 10 soap, and this is all you'll ever need. You can do this once a week, you can do this once a month, you decide. It's so cheap, so cost effective, your paint is truly clean. Always has 100% protection, because if you put a paste wax or sealant on this car, in 2 weeks from now I'm going to ask you, how much wax do you have on that car? You're going to say to me, I don't know. I'm going to say you're absolutely correct. Nobody can tell you how much wax and sealant you have left on that car, but you're in that rabbit hole of trying to protect it. Why not just make it so easy on yourself and always give yourself 100% protection with a can that will go 12 times around this car? This can will last me a year if I did it once a month. Cost me $12, $1 a month. The Purple Power soap cost me about 24 cents to give me a pH rating of 10. That's $1.24, $1.50 a week if I did that. My car is always cleaner than everybody else's, always has maximum protection on it, and I have to clay less often. Folks, I love you all. It's a controversial video, but those who've been professionally detailing for years and years and years, we've seen what pH neutral soaps can do and what they can't do. You don't have to overthink it. Make it easier for yourself. It may be the last soap and wax you ever buy to give yourself maximum protection and truly clean paint. It's how my customers say, you provide me value, Scott. I don't want to use you once a month. I want to use you once a week because I love your thought process on protecting my car at its maximum level, and it costs me nothing, and it's so fast and effective. Most of you are going to try to protect that paint and go around the car anyway with the wax. Just make it easier for yourself. Always do it right the first time, every time, and you'll always have maximum protection, and you don't get caught in that rabbit hole. How much is on there after 2 or 3 months? Boy, do I have to strip it and start all over again. Don't worry about it. This stuff will not continue to build up on the car where the paint will start to look cloudy or hazy because you use too many layers of wax or sealant. Folks, I love you all. I hope that makes sense. Somebody's going to say to me, but I don't have water available to me. I got to do rinseless washing. Who's to say you can't use this Purple Power? I know it's sudsy, right? Who's to say you can't dip a microfiber towel in it and use the Gary D method and go over it? Yes, you'll have suds on the car. What if you had your Works Hydro Spot with you that had a couple of gallons of distilled water in it? You can take that soap, the Purple Power, like a rinseless wash, go over the panel like the Gary D method and rinse it off with distilled water and go around the car. You've truly cleaned the car. You've truly cleaned the paint. Then you're going to lay protection down for you or your customer. You can leave the car wet as you go around the vehicle because it's distilled water. It can dry for you. Or you can take your leaf blower after that and dry it quickly and then apply the Meguiar's Ultimate Fast Finish. I love you all. I hope it makes sense. pH neutral soaps are a pain in the butt. Love you all.